It all started as a relay station some 80 years back near the State House in Accra. Station ZOY, as the broadcasting service was, started by Sir Arnold Hudson. Also known as the Gold Coast Broadcasting System, it was renamed the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation upon the country's attainment of independence in 1957. Ghana Television commenced its operations on July 31, 1965, 30 years after the establishment of the corporation. Ghana Television commenced operations. It was originally known as GBC TV. This noble institution has evolved over time. But how has the national service broadcasting impacted the lives of the people?
It's informative and it keeps me updated on what's going on around the world.
Concerning the national science and maths and quiz that have been done on the radio, on television and everything, I learned much about it, and also the what you know, it takes my mind far to different parts of the world. So I learned so much.
Well, television impacts a lot in our life by entertaining us, and music and dance and showing, moving all over the world. So he entertains us a lot.
We are for Ghana, and we will not pander to transient tastes and desires. Ours is to continue to propagate the country. Even when we sound and appear boring, we know that ours is to document the history, the values, the principles, the tastes, the cuisine, the dances, the culture, the traditions of our people.
The corporation started its operations with some basic equipment, but has transcended from the use of analog to digital. And indeed, the relics are there to show. How has technology transformed broadcasting? This is a question we posed to the Director of Technical Services, Mr. Oscar Incho.
The earlier technologies were very basic, and as we continued to evolve, improvements came along. In which areas? You will realize that even when we started news gathering, the equipment used was very heavy, and some people had faced the occupational hazards of walking towards only one side of their bodies because of the kind of weights that they were handling. And you also had larger teams because we had separate technologies processing the capture and then recording and then the sound.
But now what is the situation?
Now all this have been put in one. You can see the small cameras that we use is a camcorder, very handy, so the weight factor has been resolved. And then it's also putting together a recording system and then even a lighting system and a microphone. So you see that everything has been simplified.
He added that broadcasting is moving at a faster pace with digitization and the reintroduction of TV license fee.
They should see it as something that will make both of us happier. They support us with paying of the TV license, and then we will be getting the funding to continue to do more of the programming that connects with them, because we'll make sure that they are part of the programs. We'll bring a lot of local content to ensure that as digital broadcasting is bringing too many channels from various parts of the world, Ghana's traditions and values continue to thrive.
What achievements and otherwise has been chalked up?
GBC has achieved a lot. For several years, we carried the development agenda of the various governments of this country. Even when private broadcasters came on the scene, these private broadcasters have restricted themselves largely to exploring and exploiting opportunities to make profit. We have fixed our eye clearly on the ball, which is the ball of national development, national inclusiveness, harmony of the people, and a unity in diversity. We have endeavored to establish FM stations across the length and breadth of Ghana. We have ensured that in many of our major and minor languages can be heard on radio. If you drove into Bolga tomorrow, you would find that on the GBC is the only station which has 5 local languages on that state on air in the Upper East region, ensuring that all these languages continue to thrive and continue to be meaningful in the lives of the speakers of these languages. If you went to the Western region, it's the same. Volta region, Brongafu. Many of our competitors obviously haven't been established with the prime motive of profit. Do not have the tendency to look at our customs, our traditions, and our heritage. That is our forte. That is where our strengths are.
Some broadcasting organizations have set up museums. For example, France has a broadcasting museum in Paris. But are there any plans to establish same in Ghana by the GBC?
We have seen the need from the little open day activities that we have been carrying out since 2005. The kind of excitement it generates, the kind of interest the public has shown in coming to follow with us through the history of broadcasting in Ghana. We think that we need to have a permanent structure where we will cite these old equipment to tell the story. A lot of people in GBC in the past did their best to give this nation a very good service. As the world continued to evolve, GBC made sure Ghanaians followed the trend. And we have never lagged behind the global trend in the broadcasting technologies or services. And that is a very good achievement that we will need to have the old systems telling that kind of story.
As the corporation celebrates its 80th anniversary, the Director General, Major Albert Donchebi, retired, had a word for the public.
GBC is a public service broadcaster owned by the people of Ghana. And our message to the people of Ghana is that if GBC is good, if GBC is successful, if GBC is able to carry this message in a meaningful manner, it will only serve the interests of the country Ghana. And therefore, those who have adopted certain positions, which appears to assume that GBC can disappear tomorrow and the country will still progress, I think they are making a very bad mistake. It is quite clear to me that the next 80 years, inshallah, will be much, much better than the last 80 years.
Taking a cursory look at the country's broadcasting landscape, the introduction of private broadcasting to date, the Ghana Broadcasting has contributed its due to the country's development. We say Aiko to Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for his insightful vision. Well done to all veterans for a good job done, and to the current crop of workers for continually holding the fort. Congratulations.